So you bought a red light therapy panel, or maybe you're thinking about getting one. You've probably already seen the ads. You might have already seen the claims. Recovery, better skin, energy, sleep, you name it. But here's the thing that no one tells you. It only works if you actually use it the right way. Now, I've tested red light therapy for well over a year now. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to use a red light therapy panel at home properly. Not the lab coat version, definitely not the influencer version, just a clear and tested way to actually get results. When I first got into red light therapy, I honestly felt like most of you probably are, just really skeptical. I saw a few athletes using the panels after workouts for recovery. Then I also saw biohackers talking about mitochondria and the different wavelengths. And then I eventually said, you know what? Let me see for myself. By the way, I wasn't initially trying to fix anything dramatic. I just wanted to recover faster, maybe sleep better, maybe even get a little bit of an energy boost. What I learned really fast is this: red light therapy can work, but how you use it makes all the difference. The timing, the distance, your routine. Let's break it down. I've already done a deep dive on the science and research behind how red light therapy works. I'll link that in the description so you can check it out. Here's how to actually use a red light therapy panel step by step. So step one, get the distance right. You want to be about 6 to 12 inches away from the panel. Anything further than that, and you're not getting a strong enough dose, I usually set mine about 5 to 6 inches away from me. While I'll admit that it's a little bit close sometimes, that's the setting where I just feel the most comfortable with my results. Step two, target one area at a time. Don't try to hit everything at once. Usually it's better to focus on one area per session, maybe the front of your body, and then maybe the back. I typically do 15 minutes per side. Now, step three, you need to go in with clean and bare skin. So no sunscreen, no heavy lotions that can actually block out the light. Especially if you're using a shorter wavelength setting, that's not really going to penetrate as deep. Now, here's a quick tip. Avoid using red light therapy when your skin is wet or really sweaty. See, moisture can actually act like a small diffuser or refractor. It's kind of like a lens or a prism. It scatters the light, well, not all of it, but some of it that you're supposed to be getting. And then now you end up with less light being absorbed into your skin and deeper into your tissues. Yes, I know it sounds like it's overkill and maybe it's not a big deal, but we're here to maximize the dose. We're here to maximize our results. So yes, it does matter. And step four, frequency beats intensity. I say this because 3 to 5 times a week of consistency beats one giant 50-minute session. I treat it like brushing my teeth. I try to be regular. I try to be short with my sessions, and I don't overdo it. Now, here are some mistakes that can completely cancel out your results. I made some of these early on, so you're not alone. Number one is just standing too far. If you do that, you won't get enough energy from the device that makes it to your body, and that can make a huge difference. The second step is just doing it randomly, skipping weeks, going on vacation, coming back, and not being consistent. Why? Because you need to build this as a habit. Otherwise, you will not get results, and you might as well just wasted your time. Number three is wearing too many clothes. See, the light needs to hit your skin directly. I've seen a lot of people, and then again, including myself in the beginning, just standing too far or having no routine. And then there's also wearing too many clothes or just wearing clothes in general, and then doing all of these mistakes together at the same time. Weeks go by, months go by, you don't get results, nothing happened, and you're just sitting there confused, wondering what in the world is going on. And also in the beginning, I didn't really track anything. I had no idea if it was working or not. But now, at the very least, I'll just make a note on how I'm feeling every couple of weeks, And then more recently, I've gotten into tracking things like my heart rate variability, and then also using the sleep app on my iPhone. So coming up next, I'll show you how to actually build red light therapy into your day without needing to change your entire schedule. This is where most people fall off. You get the device, and then you get busy, life gets in the way, you forget to use it. Or you don't have a setup that makes it very easy. So here's what worked for me. I try to keep it accessible. Mine sits near my desk or in a corner where I can see it every day. This just gives me some sort of little reminder to use the device, not forget about it. I also use it after workouts or right before bed. Typically, if you pair it with something you're already doing, that'll automatically serve as a trigger to keep you consistent. And then I also stack it with another habit that I'm already doing. It doesn't have to be a physical activity. It could be anything: journaling, meditating, breath work, even checking your email. It doesn't have to be that complicated. Just pair it with something you're already doing. So next, I'll tell you exactly who I think red light therapy is actually worth it for and who should probably skip it. So let's get this out the way. Red light therapy isn't for everyone, but if you fall into any of these camps, I honestly think that it is going to be worth your time. So number one, athletes or really anyone doing some sort of high intensity training, you might already have your routine down, but in some cases, you might not be prioritizing your recovery, which is a big deal because it can give you that extra little bit of edge that you might really need. Second is busy professionals. So those of us who need some sort of low effort way to recharge, your schedule is already slammed. By the end of the day, you're probably exhausted. A red light therapy panel is likely part of the answer because the ROI is very high. Lower effort, higher return. Third, I consider biohackers as well. These are great for people who like to track everything, almost obsessively, but in a good way. You're tracking your heart rate variability, you're tracking your sleep metrics, maybe even wearing an Oura ring. There's also some people out there that are constantly getting their blood work done. Whatever the case is, you love to track. And then also people focused on longevity, deal with inflammation, and just slowing down the signs of aging no matter what it takes. So sometimes it's not even about physical aging, but they just want to stay mentally sharp. So if you're someone already putting in the effort, you got your workouts down, you're optimizing your sleep, you're dialing in your nutrition, you're taking care of yourself, then red light therapy might just give you that extra bit of edge. But if you're expecting it to solve everything while ignoring the very basics, probably isn't for you. So here's the short version: how to use a red light therapy panel at home. Stand 6 to 12 inches away. Use clean, bare skin. Each session should be about 15 to 20 minutes per area. 3 to 5 times a week is enough. And ideally, stack it with other recovery habits that you already have. For me, red light therapy isn't some magic pill or magic bullet, but it's one of those things that are low effort, high upside. One of those tools that I've tested that helps me recover, sleep better, and just feel more on point. If that sounds like something you're into, drop a like, subscribe. I'll be posting more specific content on wellness and recovery tools that I've tested. And if you're using a red light therapy panel already, or just thinking about it, drop a comment. I'd love to hear what's really working for you or what you're curious about.